Looking at the QNT price chart, we are on an absolute tear the past few days. From this low that was set back in June, we can see that we've pumped thus far over 175%, from $40 to over $110. So is it really that crazy for me to go through hundreds of alts and show you multiple 10x, 50x, in this case a 73x from this low, to do that in the future? No, not at all. It will happen again. The question is when, not if. Let's dive into some price charts today, and please watch this part of the video where I compare DAG Constellation along with Casper. What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. Let's kick it off. So looking at the QNT price chart, as we shared in the beginning of this video, we've done over a 175% pump. Now in the video I uploaded 2 days ago talking about, is this leading? Is QNT an indicator that other altcoins will rally and follow behind it? And I was also looking at this when QNT was only at about $85, and I'm going to be watching QNT because if QNT actually just keeps running up to the 702, I'm going to get pretty bullish on some of the alts that are still down here. So in this video, QNT was $85 and at the 382 Fibonacci retracement 2 days ago. Today, we are up to perfection to the 618 Fibonacci retracement, hitting $110, getting closer to that 702 level of $120. Now looking from the bounce wick to wick, we are talking over 175% from the low. $40, even to $120, that is a 3x return. Whereas other assets, frankly, Algorand, HBAR, XLM, XRP, a variety, are still really just kind of in this range down here. Maybe they did a 50%, maybe they did a 30%, but they have not done over a 100% return from that most recent low. I also have somebody I know, and we made some purchases today because they finally funded their iTrustCapital account. So I did blur it out for privacy, but we did actually execute 30% of our available capital, moving their entire 401k over, and we did execute 30% into Algorand today at 32 cents, mainly because of what's available on the platform currently, and I do like the ability that we can now set conditional transactions or limit orders. So this will be linked right in the top of the YouTube video description. There are no gotcha fees, no hidden fees, just a 1% transaction fee. We have dozens of cryptos and precious metals. Whether you want to move part of your individual retirement account, because previously I moved my Roth IRA over, or you could get some crypto exposure with your 401k. You can look at the assets that are available under how it works. And currently I was really basing it off of assets that I feel will be here to stay, that are going to survive the test of time no matter how bloody the market could get. Even per the tokenomics, Algorand does have a capped max supply. So I know their circulating supply did increase over the past 9-10 months like most assets. But being named the sponsor for FIFA, having additional connections with new NFT marketplaces, central bank digital currency trials, I'm super interested and hopeful for the future of Algo. And if you use the link below to create a free account on iTrustCapital, you also get $100 in Bitcoin once you fund. So speaking of QNT, Algorand, XRP, let's look at some assets really quick. So the QNT price chart on the weekly, we also have Algo or Algorand on the weekly. We can see that QNT crashed 90%, and that's exactly what QNT did during the last cycle before it popped yet again. In Algo, basically the same, 89%. I'm not using this wick when Algo went to, let's just say, over $5. I don't want to really consider that. I think that was just due to illiquidity on this exchange. Now QNT, give or take from that wick, still did over 170%. Algo thus far from this wick to really, I mean, even just that wick right there, that's only a 31% move. Notice that QNT also backtested this area and is actually challenging and breaking through some of that level right now. Now, if Algo does that in the coming weeks alongside XRP, HBAR, variety, coming up to this level of maybe 50, 60 cents, and then coming up to challenge even that 70 cent region, that would be absolutely beautiful. And that's only a 120, 130% move compared to a 170% plus. Now, before doing more so a top-down analysis and going to the smaller time frames, we're on the weekly and look at these exponential moving averages. So we have the EMA, this 21 weekly EMA, this is purple, and then we have the 34. QNT previously, it was kind of serving as resistance, coming up, tagging it, coming all the way down, coming up, and now breaking through that level yet again. Now looking at other alts that potentially could be lagging, I like buying fundamentally strong assets well below these moving averages. And even right now, that 21 EMA is around 57 cents, and this 34 EMA is still above 70 cents. Okay, now we're on the daily for QNT and Algo. Let's look at these EMAs. Notice they're getting really tight, coiling up, close to a double bottom right here showing sound support, multiple golden crosses, meaning these smaller EMAs are cutting through the larger ones, and then boom. Algo is getting set up pretty similarly, so we're going to see and have to watch the RSI, see if we can keep piercing, get some buy volume to come in like QNT did, Let's actually turn on the volume. As you can see, that is the beautiful buy volume we need. We need those big green candles. So I'm going to be monitoring other assets like this. Now remember, even with the pivots, we ride the P pivot and go to the R3. This is going to be relevant when I go over the Casper chart. What are we doing for algo? We're riding the P pivot. We're on it right now. And the R3 is at 49 cents. And just so you know, for the most part on the macro, everything that I'm showing you with Algorand right now could also apply to XLM, XRP, and HBAR. A variety of assets, Casper, anything that was really looking like this chart. Notice that QNT got the push. API3 got a 140% push. And even Curve or CRV did over a 120% move. But we can see HBAR still flaccid, still down there. And to perfection, guys, we have HBAR 90%, just like Algorand and QNT. Interesting. Now using this as the low to measure the retracement, we can see it's like XRP. It did over 30%, but it didn't go over a 100% move yet. It didn't challenge these previous levels that QNT has done, or let alone this level, even at 14 cents. XLM, the same thing, you get the gist. And notice that XRP didn't even crash 90% like the others, it actually crashed 85%. And we still have yet to get any big substantial retracement, even from that wick up there. That's about a 33-34% move. Let's get up here, let's challenge these previous levels, because other altcoins are leading. And I watch these like a hawk. I watch QNT, I watch API3. I scroll through the top 100 assets in my watch list almost on a daily basis. So now we have the lights on, we have QNT on the daily, and we have Algorand on the daily on the right. Now notice, QNT, using the high before the capitulation, we have reached the 618 Fibonacci retracement thus far at $110 to perfection. Now we don't want to just rely on the retracements, let's also look at other levels for support and resistance. We can see this was a previous level of resistance. Came up here to the 382, that's exactly where it's at, broke through. Now there are a lot of assets, well over a handful of assets that are doing this move, and they're legitimate. Some are maybe microcaps that I'm not super confident with, but there are others that are extremely legitimate with real use cases like QNT and API3 doing this very move. I wish I could just snap my finger and make everything go at the same time, but we have to see who's next. And so really just using this high before the collapse, we can see kind of riding that 236 a bit, just like QNT did. Now if we even come back to the 236, that's 44 cents, up to the 382 is 54 cents. So I'm personally watching altcoins, provided that Bitcoin just doesn't crash and ruin all the fun, that we can come up to these retracements, actually retest and potentially break through this resistance. Notice this is right at the 618. So I know I showed you the algo buy, and I mean, even from here, getting back up to the 50% retracement, that's almost a 2x return. Come tag that level with the 50% or even the 618. We also have David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple, posting this. Anyone know where I am? To the moon. Let's hope he's calling for a bottom. We also have extra VOD right here. Bottom is in, David signals. Remember when David warned us when XRP was at $2? I don't remember exactly, but I did videos about it, and it seemed like David called XRP's top within like a 48-hour time frame. I'm talking about XRP's highest price that it reached in 2021. Also wanted to share this. Wednesday, just a couple days ago, Wednesday night was the brightest full moon of the year. The supermoon is when the moon's orbit is at the closest point to Earth. And this is the July version, which is actually the closest of them all. Alright guys, last but not least, we have DAG on the left versus Casper. Please pay close attention, make sure that this video is in HD so that you can see the price points. So I just made this tweet. I believe these assets can hit $1. And of course, if you look at some other price charts, even available on TradingView, there are wicks for DAG at $1. In 2021, DAG hit over 40 cents, so it really won't take much. Same thing with HBAR. I just believe that Casper is better and superior to things like Solana in every single way. And I mean, keep in mind, Solana is down big. And if Casper even just acquired the market cap of Solana today when markets are down, that's a 75x return. That's still over a $2 Casper. And I'll do some more videos sharing some Casper information because guys, it goes incredibly deep. And of course, XDC. The trade finance market is massive. If XDC can just acquire a fraction of a percentage, it'll do extremely well. And of course, USDT. Come on, Tether, get back up there. So now let's dive into the price charts, and this is not financial advice. So I was speaking with a really close friend yesterday, and he's somebody that I got into DAG very early, right before it really started exploding. We're talking 1 to 2 cents. And from that entry, right around that 382, we can see that it did over a 3,000% move, over a 30x return, going all the way up to the 21 Fibonacci extension, hitting well over 43 cents. On this exchange, you could say 46 cents for the all-time high on KuCoin. So plotting just a basic fib, wick to wick, high, low, we can see that it went all the way up to a 21 Fibonacci extension. And if that sounds too good to be true, well then also look that we still obeyed fibs on a variety of time frames. As we can see, we did a double top at the 4.236, even the 4618 to perfection, actually another micro double top right there. Then we crash back to the 100% retracement on this high, and then we rally yet again. So during this bullish cycle, DAG exploded multiple 100%, crashed 74%, and then after a 74% crash, it did a 1,600% pump. That's the volatility of crypto. And guess what? It works for retail investors. And one of my other friends, he literally sold his DAG down here after the 70% crash. And when it was pumping and I was celebrating with him, he was quiet and then later told me that he actually sold all of it. And I was like, oh man, I've been there, but why didn't you tell me? And from the low, even the 0% retracement, we witnessed over a 70x. This is a 73x return. Crazy, right? So is it really that crazy for me to go through hundreds of alts and show you multiple 10x, 50x, in this case a 73x from this low to do that in the future? No, not at all. It will happen again. The question is when, not if. So now I want you guys to ingrain this chart in your mind and look at these similar fractals. Just retweeted this by Blockchain Backer. This is a beautiful example of fractals. Look at this. Come on, Ethereum, lead the way and take the rest of the market to the promised land. He actually has Ethereum on the top 2-hour time frame, so this could happen quickly. Now he has Bitcoin on the bottom, the 4-hour. And this fractal for Bitcoin, as you can see the year, this is years ago, 2019. Now could we see Ethereum move here, break through and follow this similar type of retracement that Bitcoin has done before? Absolutely. And so that's what I'm hoping that QNT, API3, a variety of other assets are doing and potentially serving as a leading indicator. And I shared this the other day as well, that I think that QNT on the smaller fractal could actually be leading the way for a Bitcoin retracement. So if we see that Bitcoin comes up to 25,000 or 28K, that means that it is following that QNT fractal. So now let's mark it up. So Casper, born in a bear market, it was molded by it like Bane. And as we can see this triangle I added. We can also see this arc right here and the same concept. Now, going to the top of the arc is the swing high wick and then swing low to that wick. Doing the same thing for Casper. I want to show you what's extremely interesting about this. We can see the crashing structure, comes to the 236, rides it, crashes below the 236, comes up to the 382 Fibonacci retracement. Now, what happens after hitting the 382? It crashes, creates a new low price. What does Casper do? The same exact thing. This is an algorithm, guys. I know it's not perfect, but I want to show you how fractals actually occur. You can see the triangle. We can see the arc using the high of the arc. The same exact setup. Wick to the 236, ride it a little bit, back test, crash below. After we crash below, we come up to the 382. What did we do? Come up to the 382. To perfection for both of these altcoins. Look at this. Look at my little arrow wiggle. And then we crash below. And notice, we have one low, then a lower low. We have one low, and then a lower low. So now stretching this out a little bit and trying to look at it a little bit better. What do we see? Very similar structures. So where are we for Casper? Now for Constellation, this was during the bull run. Look at this, January 2021, the absolute bottom of the market when we were at half a penny and then we rocket. So let's start getting up to these levels, start breaking through this level. QNT did in fact backtest these previous levels, so that's Casper at 5 cents. If we get that, that's a really good sign. And last but not least, for QNT, we're at this pivot, actually below this pivot, wicking below. And we take off from the pivot, we hit the R3 to perfection. Now we're actually going above and beyond 618 Fibonacci retracement, wick to wick, so right there. Well, from the high to the low, done this, a lower low, just like QNT's price chart did. Had a little rally, but now we're consolidating on this P pivot. QNT did not really consolidate there. It didn't ride it that long. It just got the show on the road. The RSI kicked in, volume came in, and it was beautiful. See that buy volume? We need to see some buy volume come in for Casper. We're riding this P pivot. Can we get up to the R3? That's 4.5 cents. Also plotting a fib. Let's get to the 236 over 4 cents. The 382 is back at 5.5 cents. And what I like about that is that fib level, the 382, also corresponds with this exact level. That's what I was pointing out when I was showing this. 382 right there, riding it over, look at that. So we back tested that level at the 382. And if Casper hit that 5 cent level, that'd be the same thing. I'm looking for XRP to do this. I'm looking for a variety of altcoins. I have alerts set on the RSI along with the price charts, and time will tell. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and sub. If you could share it on Twitter and tag me, even better. Big thanks. All links and discount codes can be found in the video description, and I'll catch you in the next one.